And hello, YouTube. I'd like to show today, as promised to a bunch of people a long time ago, I've been waiting for a video of this, my Luger, P08 Luger, American Eagle model produced by OFM Corporation in stainless steel. And it's a model uh, pretty much a direct copy of the original Lugers. Um, OFM Corporation is, I would say, a subsidiary of Interarms of Texas. Interarms of Texas. Both are located in Houston. Interarms deals mostly with restoration, refinishing, repair work, um, OEM finishes for older guns and older rifles, revolvers, pistols, those sorts of things. They deal with a lot of historical restorations, restorations from water damage, fire damage, things like that. And they're very good at it. I've seen a lot of their examples. I've seen how they've taken a 1903 pistol from start to finish, and it was completely and totally um, covered and pitted in rust, and they were able to get rid of, I would say, 90% of their rust and everything else in the pitting out of the pistol, and preserve a lot of the roll marks on your guns, which, if you're a collector, you know that's a very critical thing. So I saw them one day at the show, and they had a bunch of American labeled uh, Eagle Lugers. They had, I think, 3 or 4 models there. This one was their cheapest at $900, um, and it was. This is their cheapest model. It's their standard stainless steel P08 Luger. Nice wood grips, all stainless steel. A little bit of damage pitting here. I think that came from something else. Um, don't know where. It wasn't like that originally. I think something I may have done did that. Don't really know. I might go ask them for another part, see if they can swap it out for me. Um, but anyway, they had 4 different models, if I recall correctly, at the table. This was their cheapest at $900. They had 2 more stainless. Each one had different amounts of, oops, sorry about that. Each one had differing amounts of scroll work done to it. Uh, One was, I mean, completely had scroll work throughout the pistol. I mean, it was, etched everywhere, had articulate designs, had different grips done to it. Very unique, something it's nice and fancy. It's just not my taste, especially for a price tag of nearly uh, $1,400. Um, then the next one down that was about $1,100, so about $200 more dollars, I think, than this. Had some scroll work here that said Luger with a banner. I think instead of having the OFM logo here, it had a reproduction uh, Mauser banner up there. It's still, all of them still kept the traditional American Eagle stamping on the chamber here. Um, so they were nice, not what I was looking for. I mean, when I started getting that price point, I could possibly find, a real Luger for in okay condition, commercial 9mm still. I think I've seen them, and they're still running from then to now around $1,500, $1,600. So I didn't really need all the scroll work. A plain stainless steel was fine with me. The fourth model they had, which was really, really interesting, was a 1900 model. I think it was a 1900 with a navy length barrel. So I think it had a 6-inch barrel on it. I don't recall the barrel length. But it was a 1900. And the difference between the '08 and the 1900 is it did have the grip safety on the back end. You'll see a bunch of on the market if you can find them. I know a couple of companies pop up with them every now and then. You'll see the Swedish Lugers, and those will be the styling of the 1900, which have the grip safety back here. The P08 models don't. Um, and it was running, I think, around $1,600, $1,700. Something I just couldn't justify. But a stainless steel Luger for 900 bucks, brand new. you know what, everything, I mean, it's brand new, so I knew everything wasn't a problem. At that same show, I was seeing uh, commercial Lugers, yeah, mostly commercial Lugers, I think. Maybe a couple of pre-wartime Lugers, you know, made in the 30s, and they were really beat. I mean, they were beat to hell. They were horribly, you know, grips were chewed up. The magazine, like in this one, the magazine, the little knob was missing, or the little magazine, the spring wasn't, you know, very strong. And in these guns, I've discovered strong springs are needed for them to operate properly. Without a strong spring in there, it just won't feed right. So this pistol came with one magazine. I was able to actually pick up 3 more at a local little auction. Apparently, a guy had 3 of them for sale. No one was apparently bidding on them properly. I actually got 3 of these for $50, and they all work perfectly. All have very strong, stiff springs. So I mean, $50. Got lucky there. So anyway, so after looking at those, and a bunch of those were also in the 30 cal Luger, which isn't really easy to find, and something I didn't really want to reload with. So I said to the guy, and I went ahead and I got it. So I spent my $900. And so far, this pistol, and it operates just like any other, okay, see, magazine clip. Looks like any other pistol. And I will open it, and it even blocks open. And, yep, you see, nothing in the chamber. So for $900, you get a brand spanking new Luger pistol. Stainless steel. No worries about rusting. No more worries about, oh, Harvey water got into my stuff. And it'll stand up to that a lot better than some of the other items I had. They didn't do so well there. But everything else about this pistol, it functions. It disassembles just like any other Luger. So I'd say if I ever had the money again and I had a craving for another model of Luger, say a Navy one that had the, you know, the 6-inch barrel, which they do make. Um, I'd probably get it again. It shoots wonderfully. I'll work on a video at some point of me taking it to range. I gotta find time. That's not been something easy to do. But and as the classic, see, no chamber, just like a Luger, and it fires, and it's just something that's so enjoyable about it. When I talked with OFM a little bit more about this pistol, one of the things I asked them was some questions, you know, manufacturing process, how do they do it? I mean, my background is in mechanical engineering, so these things are, you know, topics I like and enjoy talking about with others. Apparently, they originally were making them for Stoeger for several years. They were manufacturing parts. They weren't manufacturing, I don't think they were manufacturing, I think the license is what he said. The license said they couldn't sell them. They weren't set up to sell it directly for some reason. They were set up as a manufacturing only. So they could manufacture the parts for Stoeger under the license. And then at some point, the license came up, and I believe Stoeger was no longer renewing it. And for a couple of years, 1 or 2 years after Stoeger quit, I think, they started discussing it, and they were able to start producing these on their own. So now they're produced in-house under directly OFM Corporation. If you call Interarms of Texas, if you go look them up, Interarms of Texas, located in Houston, if you call their number, you should be able to talk to them and say, hey, look, I'm looking for a Luger. They'll probably direct you to the right group, and they now can produce and ship them to any FFL out there. Really great pistols. If I came across one again and I didn't own one, I'd probably still buy it outright. Like I said, stainless steel, functions flawlessly. Make sure you have good mags. Make sure you get good mag springs, which I think they make magazines now, if I'm not mistaken. I think they said they produced it. They took care of a lot of the issues. They said the primary problems that they were seeing with people with the Luger, any Luger, was feeding issues, was magazines, and then I believe feed ramp, which I think they said that was one of the changes they did that's different from this pistol than our original Luger pistol, is they've modified the feed ramp where it's supposed to feed better. It's hard to tell with this web camera that I own. Working on getting a different camera to try to get better pictures and such, but for the first time I thought I'd give this a crack. So there it is. American Eagle Luger, produced by OFM. And yeah, look them up, give them a call. I'd recommend them any day of the week. Whoops, sorry about that again. All right, y'all have a good day.